Make a date with Rev Dr Ebenezer Markwei at 6 a.m. from Monday to Saturday on Graphic Online via Facebook and YouTube as he expounds on matters of faith. Graphic Online, truth and accuracy every day.
Hello, this is Rev Dr Ebenezer Markwei of Living Streams International, bringing you matters of faith with Graphic Online. And this morning I'd like to capture my thoughts with the words, knowing me, knowing you. I was just reading through the Bible, I've had some very interesting experiences, and I remember one time I was traveling, and then I asked my wife to listen, do you need anything that I could get for you? And then she said, oh, nothing really. Then I said, oh, is there anything specific you want? She said, oh, no, I don't need anything. You don't want me to buy anything for you? She said, no, I don't really need anything. So I said, oh, wow. But when I traveled, I'm looking, I said, well, this woman says she doesn't need anything. But you know what? Should I get this? Or should I get that? Okay, okay, let me get it too. And should I get this? And should I get that? Should I get that? Because I wasn't sure what she wanted. And so I said, well, so I was just working with guesswork and all the things. And when I arrived home, after my travel, and when I arrived home, and then I said to her, you know what? Because you said you didn't want anything, I didn't get anything. I hope you don't mind. And then she quietly said, oh, it's okay. But I realized that the voice dropped. Not that she wanted anything desperately, but the way she said it's okay. Then I opened the suit, I said, all these days, she said, oh, they are all for me? And she beamed up and all that, they're all for me? And I said, yeah, they're all for you. And then I said, but you told me you didn't want anything. Then he said, but if I said I didn't want anything, you yourself, you should know. You should know yourself that you should get me something. And I'm like, oh, wow. That was a very good lesson. That was a very good lesson. And I realized that, she was saying this, but she might have meant that. Sometimes they will say this, but they really meant that. So learning this, and then I was reading scriptures, then I chanced upon an exhortation Peter gave to us. It says, likewise ye husbands, dwell with your wives according to knowledge. That means dwell with your wives with intelligence, dwell with your wives with information, dwell with your wives as students. That means dwell with your wives as perpetual students. That means ever learning. So sometimes, at certain times, they get moody, they don't want to talk to her, you get it, or they might get snappy, or whatever it is. And our world is different. As men, our world is different. And so our world is trying to figure things out, mathematical blocks, we're thinking blocks, and they're much more fluid. And the Bible says, dwell with your wives according to knowledge. You know what the Bible was saying? You need to be a student of your wife. And you're learning, you see, not necessarily, she's sitting you down with school and saying, this is A, B, and C. No. But you're learning. How do we learn? We learn by watching. We learn by reading. We learn by being taught. And one of the things in which you get information is by watching. And then storing the information that you have, and then applying that information in a knowledgeable way in the future. And that's one of the things that, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with your wives according to knowledge. So here's a principle. We dwell with them with information received, information processed, and information acted upon. So information received, information processed, and information acted upon. That's how we dwell with them. And the Bible says, that's who we are. We husbands, it's our sentence. Peter sentenced us all to it. He sentenced us all to it and says, now this is how you should do it. Oh boy, something. Man, I've made some pretty daft mistakes because I wasn't learning. Well, now I'm wiser, so I'm learning. I guess you also have a choice. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with your wives according to information received, information processed, and information applied. Dwell with your wives according to knowledge. Well, the choice is yours, because if you don't, I don't know, maybe it will be rosy and they will live happily ever after for the rest of their lives. The choice is yours. See you later.